My name is Sonia Falcone. I'm with Daylight Community Development here with my partners, Greg Cominor and Aaron Sassoonian. And we just want to thank you all for coming out today in support of this project. This time next year, we should be on our way to housing 45 women who are experiencing homelessness here with the Downtown Women's Center, and we're very excited about that. They are, as all of you know, a pioneer in their space in offering trauma-informed care, and we are incredibly proud to be a very small part of bringing their mission out beyond Skid Row. So thank you so much. Some of you may know that Oatsie's Place is part of the HHH Innovation Cohort, and so I just want to talk for a very short moment about what that means and what's innovative about this project. So Oatsie's Place has two sister projects that are similar in size, and the reason for that is because we're utilizing modular construction. And modular construction has huge promise for delivering housing faster and cheaper, but often you need some scale to realize those cost savings. And in the city of LA, if you're waiting around for 150 units to be assembled and entitled, you could be waiting a long time. So the idea with Oatsie's Place and its sister projects was to create a cohort of projects so that you're getting the efficiencies of 150 units, but the speed of 50. So we're very excited that 2.5 years after bringing that very crazy idea to the city of Los Angeles, despite a global pandemic, that we are breaking ground on this project, and that all three of these triplets, as we call them, have closed their financing and are in construction. So it's very exciting, yes. All that to say, there are several people here that I want to acknowledge who've worked very hard to make this project possible. The first one is our nonprofit development partner, the DECRO Group. Their CEO, Ted Handel, will speak a little bit later, so you'll get to hear from them. I want to thank the City of LA and especially the Mochi team for getting this project started with a platform level award. I also want to acknowledge our financial partners. LISC provided the pre-development financing on this project, and Mike Hemmons with Citibank and R4 Capital have provided the financing on all three. So we have efficiencies of not only construction, but financing across these three projects. I want to acknowledge Kennedy Wilson, who provided a very unique private financing tool that really provided startup capital to get this project off the ground. It's very difficult to bring that type of flexible private money into this space, and we're very grateful to them for helping us pioneer a product that we can use in the future to deliver this product faster. I also want to acknowledge Studio 111, the architects who designed the gorgeous rendering that you see behind us. They have been so dedicated to making sure that despite the limitations of modular, this building is going to be stunning and very attentive to the needs of its tenants. And so thank you very much for all of your hard work. I also want to acknowledge Howard CDM and IndieDwell, our fearless partners on the construction side. And finally, I just want to acknowledge the Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council, who championed this project from the very beginning and helped make sure that we had a seamless integration into this community. Many of you know that our council president, Nury Martinez, is a champion of women's issues. And there was something that felt so right when we first met with your staff to bring this project to your district. So thank you so much for your support and for advocating for this project from the beginning. And with that, I want to welcome our council president, Nury Martinez.
I don't understand this weather. Now it's hot. It's going to rain over the weekend. But I do enjoy the hot weather. I'm a Valley girl 100%. Anybody else here from the Valley, born and raised? So thank you so much for that kind introduction. Good morning, everyone. I'm so glad to be here in Lake Balboa to commemorate the groundbreaking of a project that's very dear and near to my heart, the Oatsie's Place. About a year from now, this will be a beautiful building with 45 units of permanent supportive housing. These units will be uplifting homeless women and survivors of domestic violence, giving them a space to call home, a permanent home. No one should be living on our streets, especially because it's so unsafe for women. Over 60% of homeless women in Los Angeles have experienced violence in the past. Homeless women are too often victims of sexual assault, domestic violence, and human trafficking. These are the same women who may have become homeless originally due to the circumstances in their homes due to domestic violence or just very scary and dangerous home conditions. It's crucial that we prioritize women experiencing homelessness. And so today I'm really proud to join the Downtown Women's Center as we work to provide and secure housing for women. I have introduced legislation at the city, guided by the work of the Downtown Women's Center to prioritize the experience of homeless women throughout the system. And I have to say that I'm really proud to represent Council District 6. This community is not just willing to do our part, but we are leading the way in building permanent supportive housing here in the San Fernando Valley. We have already built 250 permanent housing units with 500 units coming online. This month alone, we've already broke ground on 99 units in my district. We need, as a city, we really need to step up to do this equitably and make sure that every single community is doing their fair share to tackle this crisis. I am focused on working with our partners here today to meet and support the unique needs of our city's unaccompanied homeless women. I also want to mention that it's really an honor to be here today alongside Mary Louise Oates, because I know how much this project means to her. Her tireless work that she has done to support women experiencing homelessness will have an impact in Los Angeles for years to come. Just like the impact that this new development will have here for the families and the women that we're going to house. In addition, I want to also thank the Daylight Community Development and DECRO Group for their innovative model of financing and constructing this project. As an HHH Innovation Grant winner, they are showing the rest of the city that these projects can be built quickly and affordably, and I want to give them a big round of applause for that. I also want to mention and thank the board members of the Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council. Can you please stand if you're here? We don't have anybody here? I thought they were going to be here. They said they were coming. What happened, Jonah? Okay, well, I just want you to know, listen, I really want to give them a huge shout out because for their just support and commitment to this very project from the very start. And that needs to be mentioned over and over again. Not every community accepts these types of projects. And for developers that have ever worked in the city and have tried to get anything built in the city, you can attest to the fact that some of these folks are just not willing to move. And I am so proud of my neighborhood councils for embracing these projects and for stepping up and being really a great example of what community needs to do to find solutions to this homeless crisis in our very neighborhood. So please help me give a big round of applause to the Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council, because I am very appreciative of their support. And now I would like to introduce a very good friend of mine, a fearless leader, a woman who is not afraid to say no to a man, which I love. And I'm going to put Anne on the spot. My very good friend, the general manager of the LA Housing Department, Anne Swole. I love you. I also serve with 12 other men, so don't tell them that. Thank you.
I'm not sure that's going on my tombstone, but okay. Well, good morning, everyone. I can't remember which councilman it was a few years ago that stood up in one of these events and said that he felt like Winston Churchill. I rise to speak because everything that needs to be said has been said, but it hasn't been said by everyone. And sometimes at these things, I end up feeling like I'm repeating all the accolades and all the thanks. So I just want to echo what everyone said. And particularly, I want to talk about Downtown Women's Center because they've long been a fixture in the fight to end homelessness in Los Angeles, and I'm just so grateful that they're involved in this project. This project, for me, as the housing department, is one of 88 HHH projects that are in construction or finished right now. So I'm really thrilled that no matter what certain audits or LA Times articles might say, construction is not sluggish. We are proceeding very quickly towards getting all 125 done. So thank you. So this is This is one of 5,500 units under construction right now around the city. So if it's a little slower in building and safety, it's because they're issuing our permits. So we're really pleased about that. And excited that this is one of the modular projects that we're testing. You know, it's a little new to everyone to figure out how to finance and how to, get these things built and staged and all that. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that helps add to the body of knowledge so we can make that normal and not an outlier as we've done in the past. And I really want to just thank Oatsie, thank Mary Louise Oates for her support of this, and of course the council president, who I am such a fan, and I appreciate her support of HHH and of these projects. So thank you, and look forward to seeing you all over a hot dog in a minute. Oh, who am I supposed to introduce?
It's on there. It's right after you.
Sorry. Oh, Amy. Excellent. So it is my honor to introduce Amy Turk, who is the CEO of the Downtown Women's Center. When we do these HHH projects, in my old life as a developer, I realized that really almost anyone can build a building. It's, it's hard, but it's not impossible. The real trick is in operating it well to serve the intended clients for years and years to come. And so when I see that a group like Downtown Women's Center is involved, I kind of go, okay, it's going to be all right. So I'm really thrilled that they're here. So Amy Turk.
Thank you so much, Anne. It is an honor of my life to be able to serve Downtown Women's Center in community with everyone here today. It is a pleasure to be here to commemorate the groundbreaking of Oatsie's Place. From day one, this project and the community supporting have set the standard for how we will work together as a community to support our most vulnerable neighbors. For over 40 years, Downtown Women's Center has been the only organization exclusively focused on ending women's homelessness, and we do this through housing, employment, wellness services, and our voice, our advocacy work. Our policy outreach and our community-based research have ensured that the unique experiences and voices of women are heard. We know, because we ask, that housing continues to be the most critically needed resource, yet also the most out of reach for many women, who now represent 1 in 3 of all unhoused individuals in Los Angeles experiencing homelessness unhoused. That's why today is just monumentous. Oatsie's Place will end homelessness for over 40 individuals and families, many of whom have experienced trauma and gender-based violence. And we are so excited to welcome them home. As has been lifted up today, the key to our success is providing trauma-informed and culturally responsive services. And we know that we're successful because we have a 98% retention rate of every woman that we house. And I can tell you that because my team of housing directors and supportive service providers are here today. As Downtown Women's Center expands across Los Angeles County with the hope of adding more than 270 new units of permanent housing by 2025, we'll need the right partners, and we've built the right partners in this project. And just want to take a moment to thank you personally, Council President Nury Martinez. You are a true champion for women, for unhoused women, and your support for our advocacy work has extended our reach. So thank you. Thank you for holding true to HHH projects and permanent supportive housing, what works for many people experiencing housing, and same for you, Ansel. You have long supported me personally and Downtown Women's Center as a whole, and you have a hard job of getting many projects across the finish line. Thank you for staying with that. And to our housing partners, Daylight Community Development and Decro Corporation, thank you for your dedication, your sense of humor, which you actually need to do this work, to get through every day. The process that you are leading to bring this project to life is very special. The community of Van Nuys has been lifted up, specifically the Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council has truly been a partner, and we're so thankful that you have welcomed us to your community. the Downtown Women's Center Board of Directors. If you were here, you want to raise your hand. Thank you for supporting Downtown Women's Center's growth and for doing everything possible to bring more homes to women. Okay, the moment I've been waiting for. It is my pleasure to introduce you to a woman who has been a true advocate and supporter of Downtown Women's Center since day one.
And I'm old enough to, that's true. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Okay. Thank you all very much. I never thought of myself as a Valley girl, but I am so proud and so humbled to have this place named for me in the heart of the San Fernando Valley. What an honor. Although totally undeserved, I'm grabbing at it. I first went to the DWC more than 40 years ago, brought by my friend and fellow LA Times staffer, Kathy Hendricks. She was connected to Jill Halverson through Peace Corps service. Jill had a vision to bring a safe place, a refuge to women on Skid Row, and had rented with her personal savings a storefront where lunches were served, cooked by volunteers from churches and synagogues across the county, and some days deliciously by firemen. Yum yum. I wrote about the first fundraising dinner there in the storefront where Otis Chandler, my boss and the publisher of the Los Angeles Times, served up heaping plates of spaghetti. The regular rules of objective journalism did not apply to the Women's Center. It was our neighbor, and dozens of reporters and editors were waiters at various events. Over 4 decades, Jill's vision has grown and expanded health services, income support, job training, computer skills. Thank you, the David Bonnet Foundation, and most importantly, sustainable, permanent housing. I'd like to take a few minutes to acknowledge some of the amazing women and a couple of men who it has been my honor to work with. That doesn't sound grammatical, but that's what I wrote. First, Bettina Chandler, whose ongoing generosity makes many projects and programs possible, and a hats off to Wallace Annenberg, an early and big-time giver. Although the Women's Center boards always get an A+ rating, I want to mention several outstanding past members: Lynn Russell, Billy Greer, Andrea Van de Kamp, who was with us today, Kathy Suto, Aaron Mills, and of course, Steve McCoy. Okay. The current board is led by Elizabeth Farrow, strong board again, including Jessica Herrera, Catherine Collins, Libby Jacobson, Justine Gonzalez, Vicki Curry, and the outstanding Elise Klein. One of us has got a pollen problem. Okay. Past staff stars are, of course, Lisa Watkins and Brooke Likens. Okay. The current staff have managed to weather this 2-year storm, finding ways to carry on their duties from the parking lot. Bravo, Amy Turk, Loretta Sanchez, and Holly Height. You are fabulous. So I want to give special thanks to the 2 men in my life. My son, Michael Oates Palmer, who thought all 8-year-olds went to Skid Row for lunch on Saturday. Why not, right? Who then volunteered as a high school student, and he was the Friday afternoon receptionist at the Los Angeles residence. When he arrived the first day, the women said, no, you can't be here, you're a man. He said, oh no, he said, I'm a teenager, I'm okay. And who has served and who has served on the board of my friend's place in Hollywood for almost 10 years. And to my spouse and my partner in everything I do, Bob Schrum, who sat and wrote almost 100 personal letters to friends here and across the country the year that I was honored, and the big bucks rolled in. It was great. So this is the true honor of today, that I have had the chance to work with such wonderful people who enrich my life, expand my knowledge, and bring joy to so many women. Thank you all. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Millie Brown, you want to come up? It is my honor to introduce you to Millie. We have been in the movement together for about 5 years now, and she's just a huge advocate for permanent supportive housing, and we work together in the Domestic Violence Homeless Services Coalition. So thank you for coming today.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you for that amazing introduction. Good morning, everyone. And I just want to thank you for allowing me to be here to celebrate this milestone with you all. My name is Mildred, and everyone calls me Millie. And I come to you with the lived experience of being unhoused. I'm also a survivor of domestic violence and childhood trauma. Because of supportive housing, I've had the opportunity to rebuild, refocus, and restore myself. It has also allowed me the opportunity to become an advocate for better informing policies and services. And I thank you, Amy, for allowing me to be a part of the Domestic Violence and Homeless Services Coalition. I have been advocating for the homeless and domestic violence since 2015. And I want it to be known that thanks to Measure H and Proposition HHH, other women will be able to reach the same goal that I have. It's moments like this that makes advocating so worthwhile. And I also want to thank each and every one of you here today for your continuous dedication and your support. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Ted Handel. I'm the CEO of Decro Corporation. We are the nonprofit affordable housing developer who's working alongside with Daylight and Downtown Women's Center to build Oatsie's Place. Recent news coverage on Prop Triple H has focused on the cost and time involved in developing and constructing affordable housing projects in Los Angeles, financed by Triple H funds. These are certainly understandable concerns. As developers, we have a duty to be good stewards of the public funds entrusted to us through these housing projects. In the midst of this coverage, as you've just heard also from Millie, we sometimes seem to overlook an equal, if not more compelling concern, the human element. Tens of thousands of Angelenos are living on the streets in tents or sleeping bags, if they have even that, so much as that protection. These people are entitled to the dignity of having a decent place in which to live. A myriad of reasons exist as to why people find themselves homeless. For the moment, let's consider the women who will soon live here at Oatsie's Place. As you have heard, many will be women who are survivors of domestic violence. 2 years ago, the LA County Domestic Violence Council reported that 20% of women in the county had either been physically or sexually abused, or both, by their intimate partner. Survivors who will move into Oatsie's Place here will be welcomed into a decent, safe, secure apartment that can be summed up in one word: home. Residents will have access to supportive services from Downtown Women's Center and the resources that its well-qualified, experienced staff can offer. Residents will also have an opportunity to develop a community here with others who have undergone or shared similar experiences. Oatsie's Place exemplifies the best of what has been and is being accomplished with Prop Triple H funds. On the one hand, we are giving respect and dignity to people. On the other, we are demonstrating to LA residents that affordable housing can be built innovatively, cost-effectively, and quickly. On behalf of Decro, we welcome the opportunity to partner with Daylight Community Development and Downtown Women's Center on this critically needed permanent supportive housing project. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here today. That concludes the remarks. Thank you.